Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Kansas City.
There's a familiar sound we're hearing more and more in Kansas City. After winning 14 of 17 since the All-Star break, the echo is more intense. Last night, the Royals answered the battle cry with near perfection in a 13-0 pounding of the Twins. KC hopes to hear that sweet tune again tonight. Fans coming through the turnstiles at the K for Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. Royals fans are indeed energized by this team, and the team is energized by their fans. And one guy in particular that we can talk about is Eric Hosmer, who's feeding off that. And Eric Hosmer had a rough first 2 months, but since June 1st, look what he has done. His average is up. 11 of his 12 home runs in the last 2 months. 37 driven in. Eric Hosmer doing a remarkable job for Kansas City. Joining me now is Rex Hudler, and I wanted to ask you, Rex, all of the changes that he's had to go through in his tenure with Kansas City.
That's right. In 3 years, they've had 5 hitting coaches, and he's benefited from all of them, Eric Hosmer in specific. But it's the player who makes the adjustments. Ultimately, it's his career. He's got to be able to do that, and he has been. We've seen his bat stay through that zone a lot flatter and a lot longer. Therefore, he has the ability to go opposite field, dead center. I mean, not too many guys, that's their home run spot. But for Eric Hosmer, he's been beautiful to see. The hacks he takes, he's under control. His front foot has really made some good adjustments by keeping his weight back. But it's contagious to the rest of the guys, and it's been fun to watch, especially from their star first baseman.
You saw him celebrate with Mike Moustakas, and the Moose suddenly has gotten loose. 4 hits last night, his 4th multi-hit game in the last week. When we come back, Joel Goldberg will talk more of that Royal energy.
Duffy, we last saw him start for the Royals May 13th, 2012. Left the game early, and we have not seen him on a major league field since, as he had Tommy John surgery, a long recovery, but he is ready to return to the big leagues. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. Joel Goldberg out here in right field, and with Wade Davis on the family emergency medical leave list for the passing of his stepbrother, Danny Duffy will be recalled officially tomorrow. He's here already. He will make the start, his first for the Royals of 2013. A corresponding move will be announced tomorrow. Some other good news for the Royals. Salvador Perez woke up without a headache today. He is on the mend. If he wakes up feeling good again tomorrow, he could start some working out, and then of course he'll still need to be cleared by Major League Baseball later in the week when he comes off of that list, and that will be into the weekend. Other news, David Lowe, he is progressing well and could be back as early as tomorrow. And as for one other Royal, Justin Maxwell will make his first Kauffman Stadium start in right field, and he'll do so with a heavy heart, tweeting out today, "The world lost an amazing woman today. My grandma passed away early this morning. She was always a loving, caring woman who helped mold me into the man I am today. I love you, Grandma." So he will be thinking about Ann Carter as she passed this morning. Our thoughts and prayers to Justin Maxwell and his family. James Shields takes the hill against young left-handed rookie Andrew Albers. Steve Physiok and Rex Hudler have the call next.
Missouri Lottery. Play the Powerball and Mega Millions Scratchers game to win $100 grand or more. And by your Kansas City Chevy dealer, the official vehicle of the Kansas City Royals. This game is brought to you in high definition by Time Warner Cable, the official TV, internet, and home phone provider of the Kansas City Royals. And the Royals welcome the Minnesota Twins to the K. Ron Gardenhire's Twins are 22-34 on the road this year, and let's check out his starting lineups. He will lead things off with Brian Dozier, who is 0 for 8 since his 10-game hit streak. Then Jamie Carroll, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, Oswaldo Arcia, Colabello, Herman, Thomas, and Bernier. And on the mound for Kansas City will be James Shields, who is looking for his first home win since April 30th, Rex.
Well, now's the perfect time. Big Game James has the goods. He's got the stuff. Good hard sinking fastball, super changeup. He's got a breaking ball that'll keep him off of those 2 pitches, and he's got a 4-seamer that he'll use and run upstairs to get strikeouts. He's a competitor, and he's intense, and he shows his emotions out there. Fun to watch this guy pitch, and really a lot of his Royal teammates has fed off of his energy. And defending behind him, I don't care who it is out there. Put all their names in a hat and pull out one. That guy might be the one who flashes the leather. Now, Maxwell getting his first start at Kauffman Stadium. He's been a nice addition so far as he's added some good offense. Let's see what he can do against the left-hander. He is hitting .311 in his lifetime against left-handers.
Brian Dozier had an 11-pitch at bat against Jeremy Guthrie in inning 1 last night. The result would be a strikeout. We thought he might set the stage for some good offense, but Jeremy Guthrie said not so fast and threw his second complete game shutout in his wonderful tenure with KC. Dozier overall hitting .233. We told you he had that 10-game hit streak going, and he had 14 doubles in the month of July, which was tied for the most in the American League along with Colby Rasmus of Toronto.
Hey, you know, George Kataris has done a nice job in Salvi's absence. Who's Salvador Perez recovering on the 7-day concussion list. Should be off, though. Good news from Salvador. He's got no headaches, no symptoms. But Kataris has done a nice job. Calls a good game. Maybe not, it didn't quite throw like Salvador Perez, but who does in baseball? He's been really good offensively, and behind that plate, he's been fine. James Shields has had some tough first innings, Fizz.
He's allowed 18 first-inning runs, but he had a perfect first last week in Minnesota. Now, the rest of the game was a struggle. He did go 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, but walked a season-high 5.
You know, it's nice for offenses to face a pitcher in back-to-back starts because they can get a pattern on him, but the same goes for the pitcher. When you had your last Thursday was his start, and he comes in here and facing these guys again, fresh on their mind.
Well, Dozier with another good opener as he's forced Shields to at least throw 7 pitches. We told you Guthrie needed 11 to get him out. As Jeremy was able to get Dozier, struck him out. Maurer singled. Morneau lined out. Domet walked. But Arcia grounded out. And the Royals scored 6 in the second. Dozier to left field and deep and way deep and gone. 1-0 Twins.
Okay, Brian Dozier says, I know we got a young rookie making his debut, Andrew Albers, and he's going to be up against a really hot offense in the Royals, but let's get him a lead. 3-2? He earned that. That's a great at-bat. Work the count. James Shields challenged him. That's all you can do, first hitter of the game. Go right after him and challenge him, and Dozier met him. Tenth home run of the year for Dozier.
Now the guy who has the lowest ERA on the Minnesota staff, Jamie Carroll. In his first pitching assignment in his long professional career, he's now 39 years of age. He threw 1 shutout inning in the 8th, and he topped out at 76 miles an hour.
I was surprised that Gardenhire didn't have him out in the bullpen with them guys. But you know, typically when you've never pitched before and you get out there, your arm is sore. But he only threw 9 pitches, and he's playing third base today, so there's no soreness.
He didn't have to get it iced down?
No. You know, I asked him before the game. I said, hey, man, congratulations for getting on the bump. Could you hold your arm up over your head today? I said, yeah, Hud, only 9 pitches, man. I throw harder from third base to first base.
Indeed. Carroll takes outside. The home plate umpire is Paul Emmel. Chris Conroy is the first base ump. Will Little at second base. Jerry Meals at third. Shields in the top 15 in the American League in ERA, strikeouts, innings pitched, complete games. And historically, this is usually his time to shine. His best month in his career is August with 22 wins. Second straight 3-2 count he's had with a Twin.
Jamie Carroll, I like how he chokes up on that bat. Gives him good balance, and he'll just have a short swing.
A home run and a walk. Shields opens against Minnesota. Shields came in at 6-7 with a 3.08 earned run average in 23 starts. And here is Joe Mauer. Only one hit last night. Shields holds runners well. Ball one.
Yeah, he does. And if you're not exactly paying attention at first base, he'll pick you off. He's got a great move. He's picked off a couple this year. He calls it having an extra pitch. Having a move like that. Look at Carroll. He already knows about it. He was flinching.
But he throws it away. Hosmer may have a chance. His throw to second is not in time.
Okay, so far, James Shields a little bit off of his game in this first inning. Still hasn't recorded an out. He's already given up a home run and a walk, and now he's erred on his pickoff throw. And that happens. Jamie Carroll, good job, takes off. Hosmer made an outstanding pickup, barehanded, trying to just to make it close. He's got a really good throwing arm.
That's the Royals' first error in their last 5 games. They had gone 5 straight without an error. Mauer takes a strike. It's 1-1.
Okay, now he misses, but it hits the screen in front of the dugout. He bounces over. This is not easy, especially on a speed runner. Pick it up flat-footed and throw it down there just to make it close was a nice play.
Shields throwing a lot of pitches in this first inning and still has not recorded an out.
Mauer typically shoots that ball to left center field. He wants to try to pull one if he can. And he tried to right there.
The Royals, as you know, are chasing both Detroit and Cleveland in the American League Central. Cleveland is playing the Tigers and currently at Progressive Field. It's the Tribe 1 and the Tigers nothing. They're in the 4th inning there. Royals came in 7.5 games back of Detroit, even though they've won 12 of their last 13. It was amazing going into yesterday's first game. All 3 teams, Detroit, Cleveland, and the Royals, had won 9 of their previous 10 games. And James trying to get on the same page as George Kataris, because this is the 3rd straight batter. He has had 3 and 2. Left field. Gordon will make the play. Carroll will not be able to tag and advance.
Hey, that's Joe Mauer. That's what he does. Now, he wanted to make a productive out by pulling it, but he got a pitch on 3-2 that was away from him. Kataris, he's throwing it right down there and in, but it's right over the plate.
Justin Morneau.
Morneau's had some success off of James Shields, a .371 average. 3 homers.
But his splits home and away this year are just awful. He's hitting .320 at Target Field, but almost 100 points lower on the road. He busted James last week, a solo shot to right center field. And James was saved of giving up 2 more when Lorenzo Cain went over the wall to rob Trevor Plouffe of a 2-run home run. Kansas City went on to win 7-2. He has not found his command yet.
He's all over the place. His mechanics aren't exactly straight down and forward. He's pulling off his shoulder a little bit, and he's trying too hard. He's overthrowing. Take a deep breath. Less is more for him. He gets better movement when he doesn't throw as hard.
Well, Morneau gives it a rip, and that's a long one. And that one will leave the yard. 3-0 Minnesota.
Minnesota didn't like getting embarrassed last night, so they're coming out taking advantage of James Shields in the first inning. We mentioned the 19 first inning runs he's given up in the first in his past. He's got to find a way to get out of this, and likely if he stays within himself, that might be all they get. But that's down the middle, and hitters are looking for that when you fall behind. That's the 4th home run in his career he's hit off of James Shields.
Shields has already thrown 24 pitches to get just 1 out. And here is the kid Oswaldo Arcia. I really like his future. He's hitting .262 with 7 home runs, a lot of power. And they believe as he continues to grow at the major league level, remember he's only 22, that he has excellent understanding of that strike zone and will walk a lot more. He was the Twins minor league player of the year last year, hitting .320 with 17 home runs and 98 RBIs.
Yeah, that changeup that he threw the previous pitch, maybe he should just stay with that, because that was a good one. I told you less is more for him, and he's told me the same thing. He says, sometimes I'm a little bit strong to come out, and that's been an issue for me in some first innings, but the changeup's looking good right there. That beautiful pitch.
And it does right there as he gets his first strikeout. It's of Arcia, who has struck out 3 times now in this series.
Stay with that baby. If it's working for you, until the other ones come around. That's one of the best pitches in baseball there. Can't hit that. See how that ball's got a little bit of movement away like that. A nice Super Exmo camera.
That was a pitch that his brother Jeremy taught him his 2nd year in professional baseball. Felt good right away, James said, and it's one of the best ones in the American League. You usually think, Rex, of great changeup pitchers, southpaws. I mean,
yeah.
John Tudor was one of the best in your era.
Yeah. Bob Ojeda, Sid Fernandez had a
Jamie
pretty good.
Moyer.
Yeah, Moyer was good, but Fernando had a screwball. That was even hard to hit.
Here is Chris Colabello.
Tom Glavine. We could go on down the list of lefties.
Well, we understand the kid that Minnesota is throwing today, Andrew Albers, has a good one. And Albers ready for his major league debut. Chris Colabello swings and misses. And Colabello, here's an interesting story as well. 7 years in independent ball, most of them in his hometown of Worcester, Massachusetts. And then given a chance by the Twins and tore up the minor leagues. So got a call up to the bigs. He's hit a couple of home runs here. One in the 13th inning of Medina of the Angels. Barely missing inside.
That breaking ball looked like it backed up just a little bit. Didn't stay on top like you wanted. It didn't have the typical downward bite. I don't think that was a changeup either. Could have been.
Yeah, he's had a difficult time controlling any of his pitches. That's the 35th pitch of the inning. Popped up right side. Hosmer in foul territory makes the catch, but 3 runs allowed, and now 21 allowed this year in the first inning by James Shields. Performances in years, winning 13-0 over the Twins last night. And today he will go with Kane, Hosmer, Butler, 1, 2, 3, Gordon, Maxwell, Moustakas, Tejada, Kataris, and Escobar against the lefty Andrew Albers from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, making his major league debut.
Obviously, he's a little nervous right now. But what's going to calm his nerves more than anything is that 3-run lead. Taking that to the mound is a beautiful thing for him. Not overpowering. He's like a young Bruce Chin. The only thing Bruce might have over him, which is a lot, is 10 years of experience. But he's the same type of pitcher. He's going to change eye levels, change speeds, loves to pitch inside with his fastball. He'll cut it into righties. He also has a nice big curveball, a changeup. Back and forth. He's a competitor and could be an interesting test for the Royals tonight, depending on how he gets out of this first inning.
He delivers strike 1. Well, they're missing their W. Right now they're just the Tins. Bernier throws out Lorenzo Cain, so he gets his first major league batter out.
Minnesota Twins aren't a bad defense. If you hit the ball right at them, they're going to catch that ball for you. Power. Sixth start this year at first base. Chris Herman getting the catching duties tonight. It's always nice to give a guy like that a break from behind the plate. He'll take it. Royals offense is aggressive against this young guy and he gets him to swing off the plate, he could fall into Albers' hands. But you have to kind of check him out, a guy you've never seen before. You know he's battling nerves.
Well, when you check his overall minor league statistics, it's all about command. And he throws another strike, 1 and 2.
Okay, watching him so far in 5 pitches, he's funky. He comes out of that crouch of his delivery, and he's a little bit herky-jerky.
Hosmer stalls it back up the middle.
There's not any pitcher in baseball right now that phases Hosmer. He's hitting .321 with 3 homers against lefties. And so that's a ball that should have been hit. Right down the middle, and it was. It was powdered. Look at that straight leg. Good balance on there. And back up the middle, the biggest hole in the diamond. So Albers will never forget Eric Hosmer.
And he's coming off a career best 5 RBI game last night, 3 for 5. And now will face a very good hitter against Southpaws and Billy Butler. And Billy overall just torching the Twins this year to the tune of a .423 average, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. And he takes strike 1.
So there's really absolutely zero panic in the Royals dugout for falling behind 3-0. They're almost saying, good, we'll get our 34th come from behind win today. The 33 that's second most in the majors. 33 come from behind wins. The Braves have the top spot.
Well, he's pounding the strike zone, so the Royals know that he will throw strikes. He's thrown 8 pitches. All but 1 of them have missed.
Now, when you're facing a guy like this, you've never seen his move, and most left-handers have a pretty good move. Even just looking at you is a good move. But Hosmer wants to maybe get a lead, see what kind of move he's got.
Now he's missed on his second pitch, so 7 strikes, 2 balls.
Thinking Albers right now could care less about Hosmer. He's just thinking about executing on Billy Butler, one of the most feared hitters in the American League, or at least on the Royals anyway. Won a silver bat last year. Best DH in American League.
Blocked nicely by catcher Chris Herman. But I was looking at his minor league numbers for Andrew Albers. 338 career innings, Rex, and only 64 walks against 279 strikeouts. That tells you he has a pretty good idea how to pitch.
Got that right. Overall numbers do speak volumes, especially for a pitcher.
Billy had 2 hits yesterday, 2 RBIs.
Okay, there's his move. Now, we don't know if that's his best move or if that's his just, I'm going to show you move.
He got jammed, and Minnesota's going to turn a double play to get Andrew Albers out of the first inning.
Oh, take that.
Yeah, he's going to work. He's going to work as hard as he can. He's a gamer. He's a gamer. Who's going to drive the bus?
I'm going with Low Kane.
A lot of people try to sneak a piece of cheese by a hungry rat here with Low Keezy, huh? Hi, Rex.
What's up, Rex? How you doing, buddy?
Gordy, go make a play for the people, man.
Gordy, make a play for the people. Shock the house, Gordy.
Jeremy Guthrie will be joining us in the bottom of the inning, and Jeremy just has a blast with HUD on the field, on the plane, in the clubhouse, mimicking the Wonder Dog. Oh, man.
He's a character.
What a game last night.
I'm telling you. I'm excited. We're going to get to talk to him in game.
James Shields trying to settle down after a rough first inning. Gave up 2 home runs, 1 to Dozier, 1 to Morneau. Now we'll face Chris Herman, Clete Thomas, and Doug Bernier. And there's that excellent changeup for a 1-2 count. One of the things I thought Guthrie did so well was, Rex, the Royals came off the road trip from a National League ballpark. They had 2 extra inning games. Their bullpen was tired, and Guthrie did more than he was asked to do. He gave them a complete game. He rested the entire pen.
He sure did. You know, that pen really, I mean, they might have got a little extra work in, but as far as them being taxed, I don't think so, because they've pitched the least innings in all the American League bullpen. But that's a great start, no question about it, especially for his career high in wins, number 12. Look forward to having him. Now James Shields, here he goes again, another 3-2 count. Spinning a lot of pitches.
He walks Chris Herman to open the second inning. So James, coming off a season high 5-walk game against Minnesota, grabs the rosin bag, slams it down, angry with himself, but immediately talking with his infielders on a double play.
That's right. Got to know who you're working with.
Here is Clete Thomas.
Left-handed hitter up, usually you're working with the shortstop. Usually give way to the guys that have pull the ball.
Strike 1 to Thomas.
So if he can, work that sinker like he likes to work it away from lefties, and you try to pull that ball, you're going to fall right into James Shields' trap. And that's what he looks for, a little ground ball double play here.
The ball hits Clete Thomas on the foot. James Shields yells out "rats" as Minnesota already with a 3-0 lead and threatening to do more. And Dave Islandhand has to be concerned.
Yeah, Ned's kind of rubbing his chin saying, we've seen some first innings that haven't been exactly great by James, but start this second inning off like this, usually he comes in and makes some adjustments, especially after expending 35 pitches. He's good and loose and into the game by now. So they're talking, he's talking to Moose about this bunt play here. He thinks Bernier is going to bunt. And really, that's the right call. Number 9 hitter should be able to do the little things.
And he wants to bunt, and it's foul. The Royals defense has been outstanding. 6 errors in the previous 25 games coming into this one. But James Shields on a pickoff play in the first inning threw it by Eric Hosmer, and that was their first error in 5 games.
So really, just get it out. That's all you want. Get the out.
Well, he showed bunt there. And as soon as James twirled, it's almost as if he was asking, is he going to hit or is he going to bunt? Was that a decoy? No, he wants to get the sacrifice down and does. Only play first base. They get the out. In James Shields' second start of the year, the Royals were playing at Philadelphia. He fell behind 4-0, and then he threw up zeros. The next 5 innings, the Royals were able to rally and win that game.
And ace pitchers like James Shields know how to execute their pitches when they're in trouble. So let's see if he can work his way out of this one. Infield's going to be in, looking for a play at the plate on anything on the ground. Dozier took him deep, first time up.
Strike 1 to Bryant. Dozier was their shortstop last year, struggled there. They moved him to second base, and they really believe they may have their second baseman for a long time. He skies it in the air. Tagging at third is Herman. He's coming home. The throw is going to third, and it is 4-0 Minnesota.
A couple sacrifices there. That was a good job of hitting by Dozier. He wanted to lift that ball. Hey, looking for something up, and he got it. A short, quick swing, but he had a little uppercut on it. Kane got behind the ball nicely. Didn't have a chance at home. Cleve Thomas stayed at second.
So Minnesota, who didn't do much right last night, doing all of the little things tonight and the big things as well. Ron Gardenhire, after getting pummeled by Kansas City 13-0, said that's a hot ball club right there. They're doing a lot of things well. If you make a mistake, they'll kill you. They haven't made a mistake against Kansas City yet, but it's only the second inning. Ground ball, Tejada throws out Carroll. That will do it, but the Twins get one more in the second, having improved their lead over James Shields to 4-0. Allowed in the American League for the first time since 1986. This 2013 team at 3.54 ERA, lowest in the AL. The 1986 team had Lebrand, Dennis Leonard, Danny Jackson, Saberhagen, Gubazov, Bankhead, and Bud Black and Quisenberry out of that bullpen. Really strong. Well, this staff has been fantastic. And Kansas City, in winning 12 of their last 13 games, has a 1.58 earned run average from their starting pitchers, including Jeremy Guthrie, who now joins us from the Royals dugout as Alex Gordon fouls it off. And Jerry, wanted to ask you about last night because it was like a perfect situation. We left the National League ballpark, had 2 extra inning games, desperately needed to rest the bullpen, and you were like the man, resting the pen, throwing a complete game shutout.
Well, we started off with quite a few pitches in the first, especially with the first hitter Dozier. But after that, the team was aggressive, was able to get ahead of most hitters. I think that was a big key with strike one. And, we got into those later innings and had some quick ones. So obviously offense and the defense allowed us to do that.
Jeremy, what's a pitcher go through in the first inning? We're seeing James struggle a little bit in the first. A lot of pitchers, whether you're young or old, all but this kid making his debut, Alvarez, today. It's not an easy inning. How do you negotiate that coming out your stuff from the bullpen to the mound?
You know what? I haven't quite figured it out myself. It's it doesn't feel any different, but for whatever reason, whether it's pitch selection, maybe a pitcher's more inclined to throw fastballs, which can lead to some more hits or foul balls. Maybe just don't feel like you've settled in yet. I'm not quite sure. Every game's a little bit different, but you try to do whatever you can in the warm-ups to make yourself as prepared as you can for that first inning.
How frustrating can that be?
Well, it's tough because you want to get your.
Justin Maxwell to center field. The catch is made by center fielder Cleve Thomas. Go ahead, Jeremy.
You want to you want to get your team off on the right foot, and you want to have a quick inning, and hopefully get yourself up and running for the ability to get deep into the game. But when it doesn't happen, you have to bear down the next couple innings and try and get a quick one. And if you throw strikes, inevitably those quick innings will come. The team will get aggressive and put some balls in play, and that's what you have to hope for.
And Thursday will be social media night, and you'll be part of that with Joel Goldberg. You really enjoy the social media and talking to the fans.
Yeah, you try to until they hate you. Then you just try to avoid it. But my philosophy has always been don't respond to the negative and enjoy the positive. And we got great fans here, so it is fun. It's a chance to give the fans insight into situations they may not otherwise get a chance to experience and meet new people.
I really remember you talking about it last year after you had early success in August, where you thought the marriage with you and Kansas City was perfect. You're pitching in this ballpark.
Yeah, I think ultimately it was the defense we played as well as the way we just swung the bats, and they've continued to do that this year for me. Every time I've been on the mound, I feel like I get more than enough runs to get a chance to help the team win. And defensively, you can't say enough about all 8 guys that are out there. Just this year, we make diving catches, rob home runs, turn double plays, throw guys out. Anything that can happen has happened with our defense.
Jeremy, Irvin Santana's almost in the same situation as you were, although you joined the team in the second half of the season. Now, this is his first change of uniform, but it's his first year here at the K. Is he enjoying his time kind of like you did last year?
Oh, he loves it. I think he feels very similar to how I probably felt coming over last year. Enjoys the group of guys, enjoys the fans, the camaraderie, and just really enjoys it out here.
Well, that is the final out of the second inning. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Great job last night.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You drove the bus. 4-0 Minnesota over Kansas City, but plenty of time to come back. Santana, Guthrie, or Chen. You see their numbers, and they are outstanding. That starting rotation with a 1.58 ERA in their last 13 games. Now, Shields has had a rough start today, but a 2-1 record. in the second half with a 2.25 ERA. Santana, wow. I mean, there are so many great numbers from the starting rotation.
I totally agree with you. That's beautiful to see that.
And Wade Davis has had some good starts after the All-Star break as well. Unfortunately, he's not with us. He's with his family after the passing of his stepbrother. And the funeral is tomorrow, so the Royals will send Danny Duffy, who has electric stuff coming off Tommy John surgery, tomorrow night against Samuel Deduno. Text 432-432 and enter A, B, C, or D to select the most encouraging start of the second half.
I checked my guy Chin. You know what? They're all beautiful, but I like watching Bruce pitch, man. When he's doing his thing, it's like watching an artist at work.
I might go with 4 checks, maybe a discount double check.
Oh yeah, you could check them all. I'm just saying.
Escobar, 1 out.
A good hustle by Mauer. Has moved Escobar to his right towards that hole a little bit, but he almost beat that out.
Well, James fell behind. Justin Morneau had a 3-0 count, and Ron Gardenhire gave him the green light, and Justin delivered.
Ooh, that's full extension there. When he gets his arms out there, you can't contain him if he catches the ball underneath the baseball.
Foul back our way, and Minnesota came in hot. They had swept a 3-game series from the Astros. Then the Royals pounded them yesterday, 13-0. As Hosmer and Moustakas combined for 7 hits and 7 RBIs. Tejada, 2 outs. Every Wednesday is Ink Student Night. So tomorrow, local music showcase will be here. You just show your valid student ID at the box office to get a $7 ticket. Make sure to get here early for drink specials and live local music in the outfield experience before the game. Tomorrow night against the Twins, we feature the band Grizzly Hand. Go to Royals.com/student night for tickets. James Command looking much better. He's retired 6 straight, but he opened the second inning with a walk, hit a batter, then a sacrifice fly, and he has been able to get 3 straight ground outs, and back-to-back curveballs to Oswaldo Arcia has hidden down 0-2. Arcia has been up 4 times in the first 2 games and has struck out 3 times. It ain't easy. He eyeballs that one for a 1-2 count. It was interesting listening to Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery's interview with Dayton Moore before the game, and Dayton said it usually takes 2 to 4 years at the major league level to understand what this game is all about.
Well, absolutely it does. But this kid right here already has natural skills. I talked to him before the game about maybe who some of his heroes were growing up in Venezuela. And I told you last night, Bobby Abreu, he kind of reminds me a little bit the way he stands and just, and certainly he said Bobby Abreu, he mentioned Maglio Ordonez, as he liked to watch him hit from the right side. And Maglio was one heck of a hitter. He mentioned Vizquel and Galarraga. Certainly a lot of heroes to choose from in that baseball-rich country.
Shields with the 2-2, swung on and missed, so James strikes him out for the second time and has his first 1-2-3 unscored upon inning. And she's sitting in the Buck O'Neill legacy seat after starting as a volunteer in Johnson and Wyandotte counties. Judy Fry now serves as the board president for the Kansas Court Appointed Special Advocates Program, which is a nonprofit organization. Kansas serves as a voice of abused and neglected children and helps them have safe and permanent homes. She works hard to spread the importance of having volunteers work with individual children to share their situations. Way to go, Judy.
Yeah, thank you, Judy. You make a lot of young kids happy.
Now in the bottom of the third inning, bottom of the order, Miguel Tejada, George Kataris, and Alcides Escobar is the kid making it look rather easy in his major league debut, Andrew Albers. This is a young man who missed 2009 and 2010 after he was drafted by the Padres in 2008 out of the University of Kentucky. But Rex, after 1 year in pro ball, injured his left elbow, had Tommy John surgery, bounced back, was released, pitched a little independent ball in Quebec. Slow roller. Bernier gets Tejada. And his mom and dad, Denise and Bernie, are here with the two sisters. They're watching son, brother.
Yeah, they're watching, but I'll tell you, his bullpen teammates were out there watching him, and I haven't seen this too many times earlier in the game. Look at them. They're all, talk about the pressure. The entire bullpen's out there watching him warm up. They want to see, hey, what's the new kid got? And he, talk about pressure. I mean, he knew they were all standing there watching him. But you can't replace the will to survive and the ability to not quit. Okay, if you ever want to get to be something and you start having struggles and hurdles in your life and you get setback one after another, you'll never make it if you quit and go home. You got to stay at it. You have to have that will and that drive in your heart. And this kid, you can see it. They said he's a competitor. He's worked his whole life for this day.
He did a great job in the minor leagues, winning 25 games, losing only 10. Kataris eyeballing that one as it misses low and away for a 1-2 count. But the general manager, Terry Ryan, said it best. He goes, Andrew put himself on our radar. You can't overlook what he's done every time he pitches. He gets guys out, doesn't overpower anybody, but he throws the ball where he wants to.
It's close there.
Just has the knack of being able to produce quality innings, and he's done that thus far.
You know what? His teammates gave him a 4-0 lead. He's got through the first two. And I had a feeling before the game that he might present some trouble for the Royals, just because the Royals, they've beaten the last three lefties they've seen, starting left-handers, and their record is 14-17 against left-handed starters, and their average is 260, which isn't bad. That's 8th in the league. But you mix them up like that, not overpowering.
Look at that.
Get you to swing off of the plate like that. He gets ahead of hitters. This kid's on a mission. And he charted last night's game. And he saw that shellacking that Correa and the rest of his bullpen gave up. But he's sticking to his game plan and pitching to his strengths, obviously. He's not worrying about any of the Royals' strengths.
Jeff Montgomery said something interesting. He said that it will be interesting to see if he makes it through the order the first time, how the Royals will make adjustments.
It looks like they're trying to be selective early, and he's getting early count strikes. So maybe second time through, they might be a little bit more aggressive against him. But once in a while you see a starter pitch out of the stretch like this, but obviously he's comfortable.
Jamie Carroll throws out Escobar. He is making Major League Baseball look easy. 1 hit through 3. Players section, Gordo Nation will make its debut tomorrow night when the Royals host the Twins. Cheer on All-Star Alex Gordon in his special cheering section with a $30 ticket that includes a limited edition Gordo Nation t-shirt and seat in the field box or plaza sections in left field. Stamp your passport to Gordo Nation today at Royals.com/Gordo Nation.
Yeah, be a part of that. Come on out.
It's a beautiful evening in Kansas City, but the Twins have a 4-0 lead. James Shields gives up a long fly ball to deep center field, and Chris Colabello has belted his third Major League home run, so it's independent night at the ballpark. Two guys from independent leagues doing damage. Colabello has gone deep. And, of course, the starting pitcher, Andrew Albers, has thrown shutout baseball, and it's 5-0 Twins.
Yeah, that's his power. This kid, he's got good opposite field pop. There was a ball right down the middle. Stayed inside it well. And you could tell, as cleanly as that ball was hit, the ball was going to travel. He knew it.
To the opposite field goes Chris Herman, driving Gordon all the way back to the track where he pulls it down for the first out. And this ties the most runs that Shields has allowed this year. He gave up 5 and 5 1/3 against the Cleveland Indians, but the Royals came back in that one, Rex, and won the game 10-7.
Well, this will be a test of their comeback ability. There's no question tonight. That last play by Alex Gordon was not routine. They're staying inside of the baseball very well, the Twins, against James Shields. And really, that's your approach against a sinker baller. If you try to pull him, you're going to hit a lot of ground balls. Kind of like what the Royals are doing against Albers.
James has already thrown 65 pitches. 1 out in the 4th inning. 66 total, excuse me, and he gets a breaking ball that's drilled to center field for a base hit. It is amazing how that pendulum can swing, and usually we have seen so many times in the past, Hud, where someone hits a 13-0, 14-0 win and then turns around the next night and scores 1, 2 runs.
Yeah, you know, every day presents a totally different game. But you would think that with James Shields and the way he's been pitching, that he would be able to handle it, but obviously his stuff is not like it typically is.
This is the first time all year long he has given up 3 home runs in a game. Ball hit on the ground. Tejada has only 1 play. That's first base. So Bernier is out, number 2. And this is not a good offensive team. Minnesota came in 13th in the American League. That's 3rd from the bottom at 241. They were 12th in runs scored, just below the Royals. They're ahead of the Royals in home runs, but still only 95 plus 3, so 98. Brian Dozier has homered and hit a sacrifice fly. Ball 1. And James is all about making quality starts. This obviously will not be one. He was tied for 2nd in the American League with 18. He was pitched at least 6 innings in 20 games this year. 7 or more innings 13 times. Tied with Felix Hernandez of Seattle with 18 quality starts this year. In there. And this was about the time he really got hot for Tampa Bay last year. He finished 15-10 But his last 12 starts, he went 7-3 with an incredible 1.99 ERA.
Strong finisher.
Dozier pops it up. Tejada wants it. But a home run by Chris Colabello has given Minnesota a 5-0 edge over the Royals. Off right with baseball and fireworks at the K this Friday against Boston. So make sure to stay after the game for our summer fireworks show, courtesy of Hy-Vee and Pepsi. Mark your calendar, invite friends and family, and get tickets at Royals.com or 1-800-6-ROYALS for summer fireworks. 4-game series. Well, they got the W. The Buddy did not show up, so they created one. A flat Stanley W for Twins. And right now, they're smiling because their team is up 5-0. Lorenzo Cain will lead things off. He is grounded out to short. Went 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored last night. Also had a walk with the bases loaded to drive in a run. And he chops that one up the middle. Cut off by Dozier. Nice play. 1 out.
Okay, second time through the order here. Let's see what kind of adjustments the offense can make.
Because he is facing a guy who's made a lot of adjustments this year in Eric Hosmer. There's the play by Dozier. The company's keeping right now, as hot as he's been, names like Torrey Hunter, Miguel Cabrera, Edwin Encarnacion are the only players to have 300 batting average, 10 home runs, and 30 RBIs since June 13th. Hosmer singled his first time up. He's the only base runner for Kansas City in tonight's game. Cabrera, of course, all-world. Torrey Hunter made the all-star team. Edwin Encarnacion coming off a 40 home run year. And Hosmer really figured it out when George Brett and Pedro Grifol took over. And Rex, they made subtle adjustments like loading early, softer landing with the front foot.
Yeah, you know, you can make some suggestions, but it's the hitter who has to be able to do that at game time. And Hosmer, he's got experience and he's had a lot of success. And it's just a matter of time before a hitter gets it all working. He takes some vicious hacks, and he's a dangerous hitter. He can go deep to all fields. This kid has a chance to be a superstar, there's no doubt. Every time you look up, Albers is ahead.
He has thrown 39 pitches. 26 have made that strike zone. And much like Jeremy Guthrie, whose key last night was strike one, that has been Albers' key, immediately putting the Royal hitters on the defensive.
Big breaking ball coming.
Well, he's done a remarkable job. I think he's going to get another start.
And Gardenhire, man, he's got to be thrilled with what he's seen.
Get downloads up to 50 megabits per second with Time Warner Cable Ultimate Internet. I mean, he's only topped out at 89, but you know, you talk to particularly veteran starting pitchers, they will go location, movement, and last velocity.
Well, he understands himself. He knows he's not a power pitcher. So once you realize that, and you're a young guy and you're making your debut, you're not trying to light a radar gun up. You're not trying to do something that you haven't been successful with in the past. And so far, with the runs that he's gotten for support, I told you when he got 3 in the first inning, that was going to make a big difference in his start. And it has. He's gone out there and stayed with what he can do. A lot of ground balls he's given up.
Jamie Carroll throws out Billy Butler. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ground ball outs in this game. Nothing deficit to the Minnesota Twins after the Royals pounded the Twins last night 13-0. He will face here in the top of the 5th inning Jamie Carroll, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau. Fouled off strike one. And we'd like to send a big shout out, a get well soon, to Royals Hall of Fame grounds crew chief George Toma. He hasn't been feeling well, and George, we send our best to you. There is a drive to right center field, and Carroll will reach. He will have at least 2, and he is stopping at second base with a leadoff double.
6 on the season for Jamie Carroll. And James Shields just is leaving too many pitches right out over the middle of the plate.
Right now, Albers throwing the ball where he wants to, and Shields is not.
And they were playing Carroll shallow because he doesn't hit for much power or extra base hits, but he found a hole there.
So Shields in trouble here in the 5th. Mauer up, Morneau on deck. Mauer 1 for 6 in the series. Fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Joe has had some absolutely sensational seasons. You rarely see a catcher lead the league in batting, and he did that in 2009 when he hit .365.
He's a tough out.
That was that last year at the old Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. Hit 28 home runs that year.
Hitting just .250 with a runner in scoring position, though. That number's small for him.
His home runs have been down the last few seasons. When they moved to Target Field, he's hit 9, 3, 10 home runs. This year, he has 8. And quite frankly, Rex, I think Target Field is a rather fair ballpark. It doesn't really favor offense over defense.
Well, it doesn't favor homers, that's for sure. As tall as those walls are out there, they're having a hard time hitting homers. But, you know, if you can design your team around speed, defense, and some pitching, well, you got a chance to be competitive in that ballpark. You hit the gaps, and then the guys can run for days.
When Minnesota was really good, they had just about everything, but it started with pitching. I mean, that 1987 team, they went out and got Bert Blyleven. They had Frank Viola. Joe Niekro was on that staff. Les Straker, though, was probably their number 3 pitcher, and Ron Gardenhire was a coach for Tom Kelly. Shields has Carroll in a rundown. Moustakas tags him out, but Carroll gets in the rundown long enough to allow Mauer to get to second base.
Boy, I'm telling you what, Jamie Carroll, he's saying, you know what, I'm going to get Mauer to second base. I'm going to stay in the rundown long enough, and that's what happened. Typically, you want to get that runner going one direction or the other. Most of the time, back to second base. You want to get them both over there so you can get an out for sure. But James Shields was doing a lot of faking, and Jamie Carroll, 39 years old, looking like he's playing like he's 21. That's exactly what you want to do when you get caught off. Let that runner get to second base.
Morneau is hit a 2-run home run and grounded out. Ball 1.
I don't remember seeing James Shields all season. Looks like laboring, falling behind hitters, leaving balls over the middle of the plate. It's not like him.
His last start, though, was an effort. He gets the out on Morneau, no advance by Joe Mauer, because Rex, I said he had a season high 5 walks in that start, and he stranded 8 runners in the game at Target Field. His command was off, but he was able to grind it out, and the Royals scored him 7 runs. He only gave up 2, and I told you about the Kane tremendous catch going over the wall to rob Trevor Plouffe of a 2-run home run. So that kept him to just 2 runs in 6 innings. And here is Arcia, who has not been able to figure out Shields yet. He is 5 for 17 since his recall from the minor leagues. But last night was a huge win for the Royals. It's the 4th time Kansas City has enjoyed a shutout win by a margin of 13 or more runs. First time they did it was 1975, 13-0 over the Angels. 1984 was the most they ever scored in a shutout, 16-0 over Oakland. And they did it again in 87, 13-0 over Milwaukee, before waiting all the way till 2013 to do it again.
James's mechanics are off a little bit. He's not able to repeat his delivery as he usually does. That was
3-1.
That was nice there.
Aaron Hicks and Scott Diamond went down when Arcia and Albers came up. The Royals jumped all over Scott Diamond in his last start. They sent him down to the minor leagues, and Albers replacing him. So George Kottaras will come out for a visit. Mauer's still at second base. Three and two.
Okay, he was sitting all over that fastball. Exactly what he was looking for. Now he's looking for the same thing here. Maybe James. To me, it looks like his changeup's been his most effective pitch so far. He's not throwing too many breaking balls.
And he either used it to set up strikeouts against Arcia or to finish him off in the first two battles with him. To right field. Justin Maxwell will make the catch. Shields leaves Mauer stranded at second base.
But talking to hitting coach Pedro Grifol today, and he says he's really not needing to get out of anything. He likes what he's seeing from Alex Gordon. He says, I like where he is. He's patient. He's not living outside the zone. He's hitting the ball hard. He said he's hit a couple miles worth of line drives over the last 7 or 8 games. He said, so numbers-wise, he's in a slump. And sometimes you go home with players and say, well, now what can we do differently? What should we be doing? He said there's really not much they want to change with Alex right now at all. And when it comes to mental toughness, he said Alex is as tough as they come, so they're not worried about him getting down. He thinks that as far as the results and just hitting hard into certain lineouts, you're going to see them coming real quickly.
Currently just 1 for 19, Joel. And Alex has a 1-1 count with Andrew Albers, who has been sensational in his major league debut. 4 shutout innings, 1 hit allowed. That to Hosmer back in the first. And that one is skied to left center field as Albers has just about every single Royal off balance.
Sure does. Pitching his kind of game. Never seen him before, the Royals, so they're like, you know, I'm trying to figure this guy out. But, you know, typically when you can maybe push a bunt, do something to kind of get him out of his rhythm.
Well, he's a guy who studies Tom Glavine, Jamie Moyer, Jimmy Key, He's all about location and smarts rather than overpowering stuff. We've seen that in this game, moving the ball all around that strike zone, rarely putting it over the heart of the plate. Maxwell bangs one to the left side, but Carroll's there again. They got him.
Well, Maxwell, he can get down that line. Sharp defense behind him. It looks like a different Twins team today. Totally. Mauer able to stay right on that base with his tippy toe.
He will face Mike Moustakas, who hit the ball sharply his first time up, but to the first baseman Mauer, who recorded the out, the final out of inning number 2. He's faced the minimum. After Hosmer's home run, he immediately got Butler on a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. He's retired 12 straight since the Hosmer single. Tried to jam Moose there. Moose is a 4-hit game.
Well, he's got a good rhythm going, that's for sure. It's up to the Royals to try to disrupt that rhythm.
Yeah, Terry Ryan said he's got just enough funk. He's just got enough location, enough deception, enough stomach and heart. And that sounds like Tom Malone, who handcuffed the Royals a couple of times earlier this year by the Oakland A's.
Yeah, the Royals haven't had a lot of success off soft tossing lefties. But I like how Moose stepped out on him right before he was getting ready to pitch. That's what I'm talking about. Disrupt his rhythm. Now he's behind 3-1. You got to be creative when you see a guy dealing like that. Halfway through the game here, they want to get back in this game. They got to get the young rookie rattled.
This could be his first 3-1 count. And Moose pops it up. Foul territory. Mauer drifting. Has room, makes the catch.
Kid's unhittable.
He's faced the minimum through. Away, live consciously, eat deliciously. And by Ford. See the new F-150 at your Midwest Ford dealer today. And by ATT Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. Beautiful evening at the K. Oh, look at that little guy. Pretty sure we are PEDs free. The Twins came in at 48 and 61. I don't think he wrote that.
Oh, it's funny.
I think maybe Pop did.
That's the best sign.
They're 16 and a half games back. The Royals have been tearing it up, winning 12 of 13, but they have been collared by Andrew Albers in his major league debut. Chris Colabello, who homered his last time against Shields, is down strike one.
Yeah, you want some opposite field pop? Bello's going to show you right there. I mean, that ball was well struck. He knew it on contact. Hitters know before anybody else. Opposite field.
Way inside, tried to get that breaking ball across, backed him off the plate at 2-1. Now the Royals' Tim Collins knows all about Worcester, Massachusetts. That's where he's from. And he said Colabello, he knows a little bit. He played for the Independent League Tornadoes. Was not drafted out of college. And so Colabello was signed at a tryout camp by the Detroit Tigers, but only made their organization for 3 weeks, released, signed with a Worcester Tornado team, and hit .390 with the Independent League. Then the Twins gave him a chance, and he is 2 for 3 in this one. Well, Alex Gordon would love to dress in red this Saturday, because you can come out for Huskers night this Saturday when the Royals play the Red Sox at 6:10. The first 1,500 fans that bring their special Huskers night ticket to the table inside Gate B will receive a limited edition red and white Royals cap, compliments of Fox Sports Kansas City and Rally House. For tickets, go to Royals.com/Huskers night and go Big Red. Now, Alex was a good football player growing up at Lincoln Southeast High School, and to this day he goes to every single home game, except for the ones in September, because he's got a job to do.
Hopefully he's busy in October this year too.
He was like you. He was a defensive back in high school.
I didn't play defensive back.
I thought you played a little safety along with wide receiver.
Ooh, man. Strong safety and some outside linebacker is. I like to hit.
Because
look at this.
Gordon would have been a DB.
Ooh, man. Hosmer had a tough time with that. And you know, James Shields, he throws about 85 miles an hour over there, and that crossed Hosmer up a little. Check out the first one here.
High heat.
Ooh, yeah, he's like, whoa, man. Usually you put that ball right down there by the bag. Don't think Colabello's going anywhere. But on Cornhusker night, we'll have Darren Erstad in the booth with us.
Friends of Alex Gordon and the head baseball coach at University of Nebraska. Great baseball player. His time with the Angels and the Astros. There's a base hit to right, and Herman is on for the second time. Colabello will go to third base. We haven't seen too many of these by James Shields. I mean, he has been such a terrific pitcher for the Royals this year.
But you know what, Fizz? This happens in baseball. There's hardly any pitcher that ever goes unscathed in this game.
How about Justin Verlander? Some of the games he's had this year. Gave up 7 one time.
Well, it's just how it is sometimes.
And Will Smith just got up for Kansas City. Danny Duffy will get the start tomorrow against Samuel Deduno.
Deduno's been tough against the Royals this year.
He's been their best pitcher.
Yep.
And that is a balk. James wants an explanation.
Well, it looks to me like he started home first. Yeah, he's saying you stepped home. That's what it looked like to me. Wasn't quite decided on what he wanted to do there. That's when you're not 100% sure. Okay, watch him. He's thought he stepped home. Box called at any time there's a deception of the runner. See him. Now he's looking home, and he did step home. And that's what the home plate umpire, Paul Emmel, said. Read his lips.
So that makes it 6-0 Minnesota. As Colabello comes in to score, Herman moves to second base. Mom said we'd have nights like these.
That's right.
Back our way. And James came in the top 15 in ERA, strikeouts, innings, complete games. Clete Thomas gets a fastball that blows by him. And with the exception of guys like Dozier, Mauer, Morneau, this is really a mishmash of athletes that Minnesota has. Clete Thomas takes strike 3 call. That's out number 1 here in the 6th inning.
This is second strikeout all night by James. Excuse me. That was number 3.
I mean, you look down at their roster. Dozier's hitting .233. Jamie Carroll is mainly a role player, hitting .213 coming into this one. Mauer and Morneau have not only been All-Stars but MVP in the past. Morneau in 2006. But after that, the rookie just called up Arcia. Colabello from Independent Baseball. Chris Herman, rookie. Clete Thomas, 8 years in the Tigers minor league system. Doug Bernier, a 33-year-old rookie. And they are rocking the Royals tonight, 6-0. Kane will make the catch for out number 2. But it shows you how important starting pitching is. And the Royals starters have been magnificent, we told you, coming into this game. Only 15 runs allowed in 85 1/3 innings. A 1.58 ERA in the last 13 games, and KC won 12 of them. Their staff ERA with starters combined with bullpen, 1.59 in that time.
No, minuscule numbers, no doubt about it. But the offense, they've helped out a lot too. They've outscored their opponents 67-25 during that period. So, you know, a lot of love being spread around lately, except for tonight.
Royals still have 4 more trips to the plate. Help will come from Minnesota. They're expecting Josh Willingham and Darren Mastroianni to come back this weekend against the Chicago White Sox.
Well, you know, I knew that James Shields wasn't throwing a lot of breaking balls tonight. But we've got a little breakdown on it. Okay, 51% fastballs, only 16% breaking balls. Now the 33%, that's his changeup. So for some reason, his breaking ball, he didn't have much command with it. There it is. There, just doesn't quite have the good break to it. And you know, pitchers have nights like that, but they try to. That's why they have 4 pitches, and they can find one that's working.
He gets the breaker across that time. Also, the lack of command with his fastball is number 1 pitch.
Yeah, you know, 50%, that's okay, but he's just not locating. Those percentages are just of the pitches that he's thrown, but his command is off.
There's a base hit to right field, coming around. It's 7-0 Minnesota as Dozier knocks in his second run.
Okay, if this ball was cuttable, we'll go ahead and just cut that ball and get out of the inning, get that trail runner. But It might have been over his head. Hosmer. No, Maxwell's got a good arm.
Seven runs on 8 hits for the Twins. Only 1 hit by Kansas City against Andrew Albers. And here's Jamie Carroll, who came on and threw a shutout 8th inning, a perfect 8th inning, as a matter of fact. And he tries to drop one to right field, but Maxwell will reach this one in time. Still 2 more for Minnesota in the 6th inning. And the evening is over for James Shields. Last night's game. The Royals won 13-0. Our AT&T Uverse rewind was Jamie Carroll topping out at 76 miles an hour in the first game he has ever pitched.
Major League debut at 39. How about him?
Phase 3, retired 3.
Moose had a chance for a 5th hit there, too. Guitaris, he was down in the count for 2 strikes. Fortunate he didn't strike out there, or he would have been the target for a lot of jokes in that clubhouse.
So Jamie, with history, now back at third base. Tejada, the batter. Royals have 1 hit, no runs against Andrew Albers.
52 pitches is all he's expended.
He is placing the ball exactly where he wants to.
Cy Young.
And our 6th inning is our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Michael Foote from Olathe. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Mike will win $100. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Michael will win $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. Royals need a grand slam to get back in the game.
How about that? For his first batter, I remember him falling behind 2-0. Came back in. Good firm fastball.
He was 3-1 to Moustakas when Mike popped up to end the 5th inning.
Here's another 3-1 count. Boy, 3-1 count tonight's a rally.
You're right.
This kid's dealing. See if Biggie can make him pay here.
He drops it right in there.
86. Looks like it's 96. We told you before the game. He's a Bruce Chin clone. Only difference Bruce has over him is 10 years of major league experience.
We told you about Jamie Carroll pitching in last night's game, but the Royals have had a guy who is throwing quite well in the big leagues coming out of the outfield, Mitch Meyer. And that was April 15th, 2012. To talk more about that, let's bring in Joel Goldberg.
Well, there was that last year, and then he had a similar experience back at Fenway Park in 2011. Interesting, in both games, he pitched the final inning. In both games, Mitch was the only pitcher for the Royals that day, quote-unquote pitcher, to not allow a run. And in both of those games, the Royals gave up 13 runs. And, of course, last night they scored 13 runs, and that ball is just foul. But a couple interesting things to point out. As far as Mitch goes, he actually, in that Boston game, shattered Jason Varitek's bat. I mean, hitters are scared of striking out because they'll never hear the end of it. He shattered Varitek's bat. Varitek signed that broken bat, and they ended up having it framed for Mitch. So that was a nice little memento with the scorecard. And as far as Jamie Carroll goes, Jeff Montgomery talked to him before the game. He said that he's only pitched once in his life in high school, and he said it hurt too much, so he didn't ever want to do it again. But he went down with Terry Steinbach into the tunnel last night and was pitching and warming up, and so that was a truly new experience for him.
Fantastic.
It's amazing what happens when you throw strikes.
That makes the 7th position he's played in the big leagues. Now, he hasn't played first or he hasn't caught.
Well, Kansas City has some experience with that. Campy Campaneris in one game played all 9 positions for the old Kansas City A's. And in his final position at catcher, Ed Kirkpatrick ran into him, hurt him. Gutierrez is out number 2 in the 6th inning. And wow, Fat Albers, you are just making it look easy.
He's certainly showing what he can do. He's waited his whole life for this, Fizz. This is how you do it. Look at him. He's got all of his crew.
Albers for Prime Minister.
From Canada.
North Battleford.
Yeah, he's Canadian. These guys.
Look at the bottom. Beaver for life. Oh, they're having fun. You just can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
Oh, man.
There's a base hit. Escobar.
Shock the house. We got a knock. Way to go, Esky.
He had retired 15 straight Royals before Escobar knocked one into right field.
Okay, it's a ball right over the middle of the plate. He just stayed behind it, waited on it, found a hole. Yeah, effort there by Mauer. Very nice.
Now Lorenzo Cain. It has been 76 at bats since Lorenzo's last home run.
You know, this Albers kid is making his major league debut, and he looks like he's been pitching for years in the big leagues. His composure hasn't shown a bit of nerves.
Cain's last home run came on July 4th, a grand slam. Young lady in Overland Park got $25,000 because of that big fly.
What a special day that was.
Got himself a foul ball. But Albers said that he has pitched in pressure situations before, pitched for the Canadian national team in 2011, which brought home the gold medal. He went 6 2/3 innings in that competition. And he pitched for Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic this past spring. With 3 shutout innings against Mexico, a pop-up to left, Arcia will grab it, and 6 shutout innings by Andrew Albers. Visit Dodge.com or your local Dodge dealer today. And buy 5-Hour Energy shots.
It means a lot to get back here, and I've seen a lot of feedback from people and hearing a lot of warm welcomes, and I'm really excited to get the ball tomorrow. It's going to be a good time, and it's down to business, and I'll lock in. But right now, I'm just really happy to be back with my guys.
Danny Duffy has been gone more than a year because of Tommy John surgery. He will get the start tomorrow. Samuel Deduno will go for the Twins. He has been their best pitcher. And Danny Duffy's teammate in Omaha will go for Kansas City right now, Will Smith, in the 7th inning. He is our Chevy call to the bullpen. Facing Joe Mauer, and will get strike one across.
Hey, this is an opportunity for him to shine. Take that ball and run with it. Keep that ball down. It's a nice little curveball changeup. Slider.
There's the slider you were talking about, and he very quickly gets in front of Joe Mauer. 0-2. Joe is 0 for 3 in the game with a line out, ground out twice. He did reach on the fielder's choice. Twins with 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth. A season high 7 runs allowed by James Shields in only 6 innings. He allowed a season high 3 home runs. Dozier, Morneau, Colabello took him deep.
Give him a pass on it. Happens. That's baseball. Not every guy's going to be on top of his game every single night. Now, not making excuses. You listen to James' post-game conference. I'm sure he'll say the same thing. He's just didn't have his good command.
Got him on the slider. Beautiful pitch thrown by Will, and that was his strikeout pitch down at Omaha in AAA. Will was recalled on Sunday to replace Wade Davis in the roster. It was Smith's 4th trip to the big league club this year. He has twice been the 26th man on doubleheader days this year, appearing in 6 games. Fastball at 92. That's the one thing that they saw when they moved him to the bullpen. His fastball velocity had improved. 93, 94, 95, at times even 96 miles an hour.
Yep. When he's in the bullpen, he doesn't have to save all of his energy to go. He made 16 starts last year as a rookie. Valuable experience for him then. But then when Bruce Chin was in the bullpen early this year, they knew that Bruce had a hard time recovering, and being able to go back-to-back nights was hard for him. So they said, "Hey, look, we have an alternative. We can move Will Smith in that bullpen and see if we can get him ready."
Big tall guy at 6'5", 240, good down angle. And wow, back-to-back strikeouts of Mauer and Morneau, and that has to impress Dave Island when a lefty can come out of the bullpen and get a quality lefty out.
2 in a row. Quality lefties. One's a great lefty. Good finish off.
And fans, while the Royals are on the road, mark your calendar to come out to Casey's biggest and best party when the Kansas City Irish Fest slides into Crown Center Square over Labor Day weekend with special appearances by our own Slugger. So fans, get your tickets at KCIrishFest.com. And also make sure to get the green KC Shamrock t-shirt presented by the Irish Fest on September 17th at the K. Garcia is down at the count 0-2. He's been up 6 times and has struck out 4. Crowd picking up, hoping they can see Smith strike out the side. came inside, and Arcia tried to take it, but fisted it foul over the Minnesota Twins dugout. That is your highlight of the night thus far for Kansas City. Wow. The fresh Prince of Kaufman, Will Smith, strikes out the side. Favorite tonight here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Andrew Albers has been fantastic. Steve Physiak, Rex Adler. We're now joined by Jeff Montgomery. Let's first talk about the kid, Andrew Albers. Major League debut. He looks so calm and poised.
Yeah, there's no doubt that he's out there exactly doing what he wanted to do coming this game. He wanted to command the baseball. Doesn't have overpowering stuff, but anytime you're a pitcher that has the ability to put the ball where you want, you get results. I mean, I told Joe earlier, I said, I think we're getting Bruce Chinned tonight. I mean, it's really the way he's done. He's really changed the eye level. He's added, he's subtracted. Done a lot of good things.
That is the 40th multi-hit game of the year for Eric Hosmer, and that is in the top 5 in the American League. So he continues to get on base, but the Royals need to get something going to get some runs around and get back in this game. And Eric is the inspiration for our AT&T trivia question. Who are the 3 American League first basemen with a higher current batting average than Eric Hosmer's .295? Man, there was a time he was really struggling first 2 months of the season. And then all of a sudden he figured it out and started pulling those balls that he was lining into the foul territory left side.
.295 for Hosmer. Slow climb to 300.
All right, Monty, let's break down James Shields, what you saw from James tonight.
Well, it was a struggle for him really from the get-go. He was unable to get ahead of batters, and you're pitching from behind. You're trying to force pitches on the batters, and when you're trying to force things to happen, it's very, very difficult to be successful. We saw that really all 6 innings from James Shields.
Yeah, we saw him grind through a performance last week at Target Field, and he was fortunate to go 6 innings and only allow 2 runs after a career-high 5 walks, or season-high, I should say.
Well, remember that game, he had some great defense behind him and really kind of allowed the defense to do their thing. Tonight he wasn't able to do that.
Dozier knocks it down. They get 1, but that's all they'll get. And Billy's got that look on his face like Who is this guy in the mound? How is he getting us all out?
Dozier, nice play, stayed with it, knocked it down, had time, didn't panic. The ball over there to Bernier. Ooh. It's nice. See the shortstop catching it. He trapped it in his chest. Bernier waiting for it, saying, give it to me. And then he pulls it out and shows it to the umpire. I had it.
Now Alex Gordon, and yet another strike thrown by Albers. He's thrown 74 pitches in not yet 7 innings. And 48 have made that strike zone. Only 26 have missed. So he is just pounding it. I mean, you've been around pitching for a long, long time. How does a guy, a starting pitcher, get himself out of a rut like James has been in?
Well, he's going to be fine. He has the track record. He understands what it's going to take to go back out. There are just some nights when you don't have it. Sometimes it's just not getting the feel. Sometimes it starts in the bullpen. Sometimes it's when you get into the game, you're unable to really establish that feel and that command that you have to have. But he'll be fine. I think you look at the workload he's had. It's been a huge workload, and he understands what it takes to get back out there and be James Shields, to be a successful Major League pitcher.
Jeremy Guthrie was talking with us about that. He said he wished he knew how you take it from the bullpen, because there are times where you've got nothing, take it out of the bullpen, and you have success. Other times you feel great and you go out to the mound and you've got nothing.
Well, I think tonight, like the Royals, here with Albers, you give them some early count outs, and you do a huge favor on letting that pitcher kind of get on track. And I think a lot of times starting pitchers, when they have trouble in the first inning, it's just a byproduct of the hitters at times taking a little different approach in that first at bat of the evening in the first inning.
I'll tell you though, 3 runs they got him in the first base. I mean, in the first inning, his teammates got Albers. That settled him right there. We didn't see any nerves from the kid. He goes, all right, thank you. That's the best gift you can give a kid making his Major League debut.
That's exactly right, Rex. And as a guy that normally pitched with a lead, I can tell you that's a lot different ball game when you're pitching with the lead, because you have the ability to make a mistake at times and not get punished too much as a result of that. So you change your mindset a little bit when you're pitching with a lead as opposed to when you're pitching from behind.
Albers has a 3-2 count to Alex Gordon with Butler at first base. And there's a ground ball. Morneau has it. They've got one, and they will not get Alex, who's roaring down that line, but there's 2 out now in the 7th. And this kid, at only 80 pitches now, he could easily go 9, and in his first Major League game, get a complete game shutout. Incredible.
It's amazing how this game has a way of changing from day to day. And you look at the 13-zip Royals victory yesterday and the pitching matchup today with a kid making his debut versus James Shields, a guy that's one of the top pitchers in the league. And you look on the scoreboard and see 7-0, and you're thinking you would have bet your life savings that the Royals would have been the team with 7 runs based on the way things went last night.
And they are chasing both Detroit and Cleveland in the American League Central. They started the day 4 back at the wild card lead. Maxwell swings and misses at the off-speed pitch. Justin with 4 hits in his first 4 games with the Royals. 0 for 2 in this one, lining out and grounding out. He is a delightful young man. I was visiting with Justin before the ball game about coming to the Royals, and he said, it was interesting. When I was with the New York Yankees, they really did great research on background checks of athletes and coaches in the system. And he goes, I get that same feeling here, that the Royals are that same kind of upfront, great character organization where they not only want terrific athletes, but character guys as well to fit into that clubhouse.
And that's really just going the extra mile to do all that work, to find out what kind of individual they are, what kind of people they are going to sign, or they're going to trade for, they're going to draft. And from really first time you talk with Maxwell, you can understand he's one of those kids.
Pops up. Bernier takes care of Justin and takes care of the Royals. 7-0 Minnesota.
Cleveland, and they have now won 10 in a row. The White Sox leading the Yankees. Good pitching duel there, Chris Sale and Hiroki Kuroda. Boston and Houston in a slugfest down at Minute Maid. Cincinnati beats Oakland 3-1 behind Matt Latos. Texas and LA, Toronto and Seattle still to come here tonight. Our Mazda Game Break takes us to that game in Cleveland where they received some bad news today. Corey Kluber going on the DL with a sprained finger, and bad news for Justin Masterson as he gets rocked by the Tigers. There's Miguel Cabrera with yet another RBI, and he hits the 100 mark in RBIs now. And so Detroit keeps on rolling. And if you want to hear something else scarier, the reports that I saw actually on Twitter from Dan Dickerson, their play-by-play man on radio, said that Verlander was 96 to 100 later in that game. They had not seen that this year.
Well, he's one of the best pitchers we have seen in years. He went through a rough stretch, but his team in first place, and they certainly will need him the last 2 months of this season. Will Smith was magnificent in the 7th inning, and now facing a right-handed batter in Chris Colabello, who is 2 for 3 with a home run and a single off James Shields. And Jeff, you can even say, okay, it's a blowout. Minnesota's taking care of Kansas City, but the fact that Will Smith came out of the bullpen in the 7th inning, faced 3 tough left-handers, in particular Joe Mauer and Justin Morneau before the rookie RC, and struck out all 3 left-handers, I think opens Dave Island, Ned Yost eyes, and hey, we've got another option here to get lefties out.
Well, and anytime you're not on a major league roster and you're trying to work yourself into a situation, he's obviously here as a result of the Davis situation. You want to audition every time you go out there. You want to do your job. You want to do everything you can to impress the brass, impress your manager and your pitching coach. And Will Smith, great job last inning of doing that.
Controlled the count, never felt behind. And Colabello got jammed and then fists it off.
As you mentioned, facing the heart of the Twins order, kind of like the stuff you see from the lefty on lefty. Really nice finish on his breaking ball. Gets the 3 strikeouts in that inning.
And Will says, I'd love to start, but I just want to be in the big leagues, so I'll do whatever it takes to stay here. Mike Moustakas with the catch, and that's 4 up, 4 down for Will Smith. And those are 2 totally different left-handers. You have one who's 5 feet 7 inches tall, and Tim Collins, another 6'5", 240, big down angle.
Well, and I remember last year when Will Smith got his first win against the Cleveland Indians. That was the first time I saw that really good curveball. And if you're going to be a guy that's going to be a situational guy coming in against the lefties, you have to have that breaking ball to equalize the good left-handed batters.
And he's added that changeup, but he's mainly going fastball, breaking ball, coming out of the pen because most of the hitters only will see him one time. Chris Herman is the batter. He's walked and scored, flied out, singled and scored. Scored on Brian Dozier's single. And he is catching tonight, allowing Joe Mauer to play first base. Royals have really controlled the Twins this year, winning 11 of their 14 games.
And you know, they've had a very nice record against the Central this year, 28-19. That's a good mark in your own division. And with 11 left with Detroit, a lot can happen.
Yeah, you're right. A lot can happen. You know, we're talking about this wild card race, and I really don't know who I'm pulling for, whether it's the Indians or the Tigers. I'm kind of hoping that the Indians lose because, you know, I think right now the wild card race is the most attainable for the Royals. So I'm rooting for whoever's playing the Indians. I'm rooting for whoever's playing the Orioles and whoever's playing the Rangers.
Well, it's time for our AT&T trivia question and answer. Who are the 3 American League first basemen with a higher current batting average than Eric Hosmer's .295? And the answer is James Loney of Tampa Bay, Chris Davis, of course, of Baltimore, one of the MVP candidates this year, and Kendrys Morales of Seattle. 1 point higher than the Royals' Hosmer. Here's another lefty in Clete Thomas. Thomas has been on twice, hit by a pitch. He also singled, struck out looking in the 6th. Well, that fastball has been sharp. I mean, he has thrown it by a lot of left-handers. He's faced 5 batters tonight, struck out 4. He has a 2-2 count on another lefty in Clete Thomas. A great slider again. All 5 strikeouts have come on that slider.
That away, Will.
Royals baseball is brought to you by Thoroughbred Ford. For the best deals on new Ford cars and trucks, visit thoroughbredford.com. Steve Biziak, Rex Sadler, Jeff Montgomery, Joel Goldberg with you at the K. Royals beginning this homestand, winning last night 13-0, but completely controlled by Andrew Albers in his major league debut.
All right, watch George Kataris. You young catchers out there, you got to clear your path to throw to first base. So watch his footwork. Watch how he goes. 1, 2, 3, so he can get a straight throw and not throw it in the runner. Good job by George there.
Moustakas 0 for 2, grounding out, popping up. Last time he had a 3-1 count, a rare 3-1 count from Albers, who's fallen behind 2-0. He's thrown 86 pitches. All but 33 have made that strike zone. It's interesting, Jeff. Ned Yost was talking about last night being one of those games where it was the least stressful game they've had this year. I mean, the Twins were out of it early. Royals scored 6 in the second inning. And this is the opposite. We've had so many close games, 1- or 2-run decisions, and all of a sudden 13-0 and 7-0, and Moustakas pops up for the first out of the 8th.
Well, unfortunately, this game has not had a lot of stress since early part for anybody either. So
exactly.
Kid just doing a heck of a job, man. Gardenhire, he's had starting pitching issues all year long. And for this kid to come in here and do this to one of the hottest teams in baseball, what an effort.
Reminds me a little bit of last year. The Twins had a pitcher named Cole DeVries.
Yeah.
Who really out of nowhere didn't have much of a track record. I think he had a start or two before he came here to Kansas City, but he did the same thing. He almost stifled the Royals. And sometimes the guys that don't have the track record, you don't have a scouting report on them, they can cause a lot of problems.
Sure can.
He has rarely made a mistake over the heart of the plate. Throwing it to both sides of the plate, up and down, back and forth, changing speeds. By the way, we'd like to send out happy birthday to one of our Fox Sports Kansas City teammates, Chad Wimberly. Happy birthday, Chad. He is celebrating by doing graphics tonight. What a celebration.
Numbers, numbers, and more numbers. Way to go. Thank you, Chad. Happy birthday.
Tejada pops it up. Albers wanted to take it, but the third baseman, Jamie Carroll, called him off. So 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Tejada's saying, man, what do I got to do?
Joel was right. There is no vault down the right field line that you can store runs in when you score 13. Going to carry about 8 over for tomorrow.
Yeah, Joel was talking about save a few for tomorrow.
Well, I said it, and Joe said, unfortunately, you can't do that.
Oh, there you go.
We know that, but as conversations go.
Fizz, I did research for you. The
Yes,
last
sir.
22 times that they've scored at least 13 runs, they've averaged 3.5 runs in those games, but they had some big ones the next day, 8 runs, 9 runs. They also got shut out a handful of times, maybe most infamously after that 26-5 win over Detroit in 2004, getting shut out 8-0 the next day.
Ooh. In there. Well, it's all about starting pitching. It lays the foundation for success. It has kept the Royals into every single game since the All-Star break. They have an ERA, we told you coming into this game, 1.58 in their last 13 games. And you get good starting pitching and terrific defense, and the Royals really, every scout we talk to say they have the best, most athletic defense in the game. Well, every time you get a hit, it seems like it's an important one. And Andrew Albers continues to confound the Royals. and he will win Prime Ministership of Canada.
Pittsburgh, and we'll see the Marlins coming here next week. The Marlins playing in beautiful Pittsburgh tonight, and it is the Pirates having quite the season, and the walk-off from Josh Harrison. They have the best record in the majors, and they keep on rolling. Will Smith will try to keep on rolling, and after the game on Boulevard Royals Live, Jeff Montgomery and I will break it down, what went wrong with James Shields, what has gone so right for Andrew Albers. Maybe Monty will wear one of those hats. In all likelihood, he probably will not. Reaction from Ned Yost and much more. And guys, if Albers holds on and tosses the shutout here, looking at some research here, he will be the first, and that ball is just foul. He's going to be the first major league pitcher to go the distance, throw a shutout in his big league debut since, and I know you remember him, Andy Van Hecken for the Tigers in 2002, who went on to throw a total of 5 games in the majors. But other notables, Louis Tiant, 64 against the Yankees, Juan Marichal, 1960 against the Phillies, Pedro Estacio, 1992 against the Phillies, and for the Kansas City A's, back in the early 1960s, Lou Krause.
Wow. Lou Krause. He was a good pitcher.
Good research, Joel.
Fantastic work. Ground ball short, Escobar tosses out Bernier, and Will Smith continues to dazzle. He has faced 7, retired 7, including 5 strikeouts. Fans, you can vote for the Royals Player of the Month, sponsored by Majestic and Rally House. Vote at Rally House stores and get a chance to go on field and meet the winning player. Mike Moustakas playing some very good baseball. Since the middle of June, he's hitting over 300. Brian Dozier, good game. Home run on a 3-2 pitch from Shields to lead off the first. He also knocked in a run on a sacrifice fly in the second and drove in his 3rd run of the game in the 6th on a line drive single to right.
He set the tone in the first at bat.
Royals will have Danny Duffy going tomorrow night, and that's going to be bringing a lot of excitement. So fans, we invite you to the K. Cheer on Danny. 7 o'clock game here at Kauffman Stadium. Danny's been gone for more than a year because of the left elbow injury he suffered last, was that late April or early May? I remember it being in Chicago.
It was May.
Early May. And he needed Tommy John surgery. Back now, pitching well for Omaha. And the Royals will have their main guys in the bullpen rested. Shields went 6, did give up 7, but now Will Smith likely will go 3. And your main guys coming into that bullpen, guys like Collins and Crow and Holland, Herrera, all rested. Hochaber, Lewis Coleman as well. Lorenzo Cain makes the catch, and 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Hey, check out Danny Duffy. Watch him, man. He's got a live arm. I'm looking forward to watching him and seeing him, and he can just blow that ball by guys. He's got great stuff. Hopefully he's on command, and he impresses like he expects to. Use that defense, and why not? It's one of the best in the business. Look at that. Jeter.
He's really excited to go.
Granderson's got
delightful
to go.
guy from that Santa Maria area of California. Santa Barbara. Jamie Carroll, the batter. Will Smith has thrown 42 pitches tonight, and he has commanded the strike zone, rarely fouling behind. This is his first 2-0 count. He struck out the side in the 7th inning. And that included Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, and Oswaldo Arcia. Tejada throws out Carroll. 9 up, 9 down for Will Smith.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a nice positive right there. Hitting his spots, looking good.
Nothing over the Royals in the bottom of the 9th inning as Andrew Albers, a young man who was a 10th round draft pick of San Diego, released, had Tommy John surgery, signed with the Minnesota Twins after playing in Quebec independent baseball, has a chance for a complete game shutout in his major league debut. His mom and dad, Denise and Bernie, are here, his 2 sisters, watching him do something rather historic.
It's very special. I mean, and he's been in command the whole way. Mixing his pitches, keeping it down, throwing strikes. He couldn't have dreamed of a better debut. And if he's successful in shutting the Royals down, it'll be the 6th time this year the Royals have been shut out.
Escobar tries to drop one to right, and he has a 2-hit game. He and Hosmer with 2-hit games. So up comes Lorenzo Cain. But Joel Goldberg was telling us some of the likes that had done it in the past in their major league debut. Luis Tillon, complete game shutout. Hall of Famer Juan Marichal. And they might be able to add Andrew Albers to that list. 27-year-old lefty from North Battleford, Saskatchewan.
Tell you what, he'll be news in Canada. That's.
Hey, he's news here. I mean, there's 4 guys out in the outfield who have been his campaign managers for Prime Minister. There they are.
They're still
including Flat Stanley, who does not get a vote.
Be hard to package Flat Stanley out as big as he is there. Package him and send him somewhere.
A little bit low with the off-speed pitch. Casey Bean is up for Minnesota just in case Albers cannot go the distance. To right field. That will get out of play. And right back in the count is Andrew Albers at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We told you he pitched for Team Canada in the World Baseball Classic through 3 shutout innings against Mexico and the likes of Adrian Gonzalez and Jorge Cantu and Luis Cruz, and he said that was a high energy, stressful situation. Ground ball third. 1. Safe.
All right. Inhale, exhale. Trying to stay through it. Let's see if Gardenhire lets him stay in.
Leading 7-0. I'm sure he will. You've got the left-hander Hosmer, who has twice hit him sharply up the middle. Hosmer 3 for 5 with a double, a home run, 5 RBIs last night. Ball 1. First rough start in a long time for Kansas City.
Okay, this kid, his endurance and stamina is being tested right here. One of the best hitters in the American League facing Albers right here, and he gets a big hit. Or he loses him. Gardenhire might have to go to the pen.
He has a 3-0 count on Eric, has not walked a man in this game. He's allowed only 4 hits, and all of them singles. 2 to Hosmer, 2 to Escobar.
Obviously, he's getting a little tired, but man, the best time to get tired, any pitcher will tell you, is in the 9th inning. Starter. When he started, it goes that far. I mean, it's rare. But how about that? We went Guthrie with the complete game last night, and this kid has a chance here, but he's got to hit 2 more outs.
It's low, and that's the first walk issued by Andrew Albers. Now he'll pace around that mound, and here comes Ron Gardenhire.
Yeah, he's tired. You could tell. But man, what an unbelievable effort. Especially after that 13-run onslaught last night they put on Correa and over their bullpen.
One of 3 independent ball players for playing for Minnesota tonight. Their shortstop, Doug Bernier. Their outfielder, Chris Colabello, and 27-year-old Andrew Albers making his major league debut. Still getting a lot of votes for Prime Minister by his fan base. And a 7-0 lead for Minnesota. We'll be right back. bullpen. What an effort by Andrew Albers. 8 in the third innings. He leaves with 2 aboard, giving up 4 hits, 1 walk, and it came to his last batter, Eric Hosmer.
Yep, he scored huge points for his manager Ron Gardenhire for saving that bullpen tonight. Especially after last night. Man, I'm telling you.
Casey Fiend is the new pitcher. He is the 6'2" right-hander out of Santa Rosa, California. And he has been brilliant since the very end of May. He has an 0.68 earned run average, allowing just 2 earned runs in 26 2/3 innings. Their bullpen has not been their problem. It has been a bad rotation. Really, the only constant good that they've had has been from Samuel Duduno, and he will go tomorrow night.
This kid Fiend's got a sinker slider, changeup.
Billy Butler with 2 hits and 2 RBIs last night, but 3 ground outs in this one. And he has a favorable 3-0 count with a couple on. Ball 4. So the bases are loaded. We're in the 9th inning.
Hey, Alex has a chance.
He has hit a couple of grand slams already this year. But Rex, it's almost like you would prefer to see just a base hit.
Yeah.
Just to keep the rally going.
No, I'll take a grand slam over a base hit any day for this. Come on. They get back in this game with a slam.
I'm just saying, if he gets a base hit, knocks in a couple of runs, then it's a 7-2 ball game. Then the pressure's still on. The guy's pitching out of the stretch. I mean, what you ideally would love to do is just somehow get the tying run of the plate. We've seen crazier things happen.
We have.
Fouled out of play. Alex trying to break out of a 1-for-21 slide he has been in. It has seen his batting average tumble to .263. Kane at third, Hosmer second, Butler first. One ball, 2 strikes. This could be 2. It is. Andrew Albers will get the victory. He did not get the complete game shutout, but the Twins do get the shutout, and Albers gets the player of the game.
I thought, before the game that this kid could present some problems, and I was right. Hey, jam shots all day long. Good hard cutters in on righties, slow curves to lefties, but he threw strikes and was ahead of guys all night long. Just total command until that last inning. Gardenhire thrilled he's found him another arm and a lefty.
We'll come back to talk more about this one as Albers gets his first major league win and his first start against James Shields and KC.